Cards probably didn't deserve to lose that game 3-1, especially after leading 1-0. What was your assessment of it?
I thought Chester started the game a little bit better than us early few minutes, but then I felt we got a real foothold in the game and deservedly took the lead, and could have extended that, to be honest, but they got a penalty which, where I was, looked a pen, but we were massively in the game, and first half probably the better side. Second half come out and they've gained a little bit of territory on us. We're sat back, we're sat a little bit deep, but at 1-1 we've probably had the best chance of the game, to be honest, with Matty, and the keeper guesses right and makes the save. But 76 minutes, I think we haven't dealt with a shot. I think Dan's half spilt it, parried it, and from the resulting corner we don't deal with it on the edge, and then it ends up in the back of the goal, which is massively disappointing, because I think that was 76 minutes and I don't think even though they'd had play and territory, I don't think they'd mustered up anything to hurt us. We had a good shape about us, and we were breaking at times and causing problems, but the third goal, takes every bit of chance you've got to get something out the game away. The manner of it was, I think you said that we've seen it before, but he's not meant to clear it there, and it's a good finish. You have to commend the finish from Willoughby. So disappointing, and like you said, I don't think we deserve to lose that 3-1.
Similar to the Hereford game in many ways, where you might have liked to have seen what would have happened if you'd have kept the lead for a bit longer, because certainly for that 10 minutes after you took the lead, it was probably some of the best football that you played for a while. Yeah,
it was. I think obviously Josh going off as well was a loss, because obviously what he gives us and the presence he gives us, and certainly the target and the platform to play off. So we were disrupted with that, but like you say, just that keeping hold of that lead a bit longer would have been, obviously a lot better. But I think as well they were getting a bit tentative and a bit tetchy, and shouting for things and stuff like that a lot of the time. But we weren't able to do so, and we were punished from the penalty spot.
For their second goal, though, I mean, he's got a lot of space in the box for a second phase off a corner. A bit disappointed with that.
I was disappointed with us on the edge of the box, to be honest. One thing I always say is you have to do that job on the edge of the box. If you win that contact there and you deal with that, then it doesn't lead to that. But like you say, we've switched off, we've followed the ball, we've ended up not dealing with the loose ball back in, which has given their lad time and space to eventually put it in the back of the net. So to concede like we did after scoring what I felt was a good goal. I know they'll be disappointed because it was from a corner, but I think it's a great header it's a good ball in from Mike, and it's a great header from AJ, which gives us the lead. So to surrender it the way the second went in was disappointing, annoying, all the words that you'd associate with that type of goal.
Because at 1-1, you made a couple of changes, and you made a fairly attacking change, bringing Lee Williams on. Did you feel at 1-1 that you still very much had a chance of nicking a win there?
Well, I just felt that at times we were getting a little bit overrun, and dropping Matty back a little bit we were able to get more of a hold and more energy in the middle of the pitch. Joe's getting up to match fitness. Joe Ackroyd, I thought he'd done really well again, but you can see when he tires, because he gives that much energy and that much industry. You see he does tire a couple of times down the left, which is why we made the changes we did. But that's what we've got a squad for. We've got to use players, and players have got to make sure that when they come on, they're ready. And to take the game on, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
Yeah, I was going to mention Jarrod. We thought he was excellent, to be honest, and perhaps one of them players where it's a shame you couldn't have had him a bit sooner.
Well, I was trying to get him probably 3-4 weeks before we got him, but at the time it wasn't to be. But you know, I'm glad we've got him now, because the energy and like you say, the industry that he gives, it's infectious, and you know, some of the times you see him just pop up and end up getting on the right side of an attacking threat. You know, he does really well with it. He reads the game well and he senses danger well, and you know, he's going to be important for us.
Obviously, you're at the point now where you need results more than anything. But performance-wise, on Saturday and tonight, do you feel like you've found something with this squad? Found a way of playing? Found a bit of a groove that you can take forward?
Yeah, I don't. It's not that I've ever doubted we've had ability or certainly heart. I just think a lot of the time when you're down there, you lack confidence and belief.
Yeah.
And the best players in the world will always suffer form when they're lacking confidence. And I think, you know, we've seen even before the last couple of weeks, I think we've seen in spells in games where we've contested it against the better teams. You know, we go to Hereford away and places like that, and we've contested games against the top sides, and we've come here tonight and we've done the same. You know, for 76 minutes, the game's 95 minutes, but for 76 minutes, you wouldn't be looking at, you wouldn't think you'd be looking at two teams that were polar ends of the table, certainly from where I was stood anyway. And like I say, I know they had a bit of territory second half, but they weren't causing us any problems. It was fizzling out. They were over it and passes through. Some of the build-up play was decent, but it wasn't sort of coming to anything. But obviously they'll look at it and go, well, we've ended up with a shot that's been spilt, ended up with a corner and scored from the corner. So they'll look at that as their play caused that to happen. I look at it as though we've switched off from a corner, which has allowed them to get the second goal.
Yeah. Obviously, you move on to Radcliffe at home on Saturday, and then that game and Oxford City the week after that. 2 games against sides in and around you. Do you think at best we'll know what kind of chance you've got of getting out of this before when these 2 games finish?
Well, we can only win the games in front of us. What will be elsewhere will be elsewhere. You know, we do need a couple of snookers. Let's have it right. But at the same time, there's still plenty of points at stake, and anyone, even 6, 7, 8, 9 points above us, if they take the foot off it, then you know we're certainly going to be trying to get those wins, trying to claw those points back, and making sure that should one of those teams above us fall short or think that, you know, they can book their holidays, then we want to be there to gain that ground, and it's going to come from belief, like we've shown. It's going to come from character. It's going to come from ability as well. But the big thing is sticking together, and you've heard the fans, they've clapped us off again, and that's so important for us. And you know, we've so desperate to maintain our status, but we've got to, like you say, we've got to pick up the wins.